Welcome to Eagle's Nest Outdoors. I'm JP. If you've watched any of my other videos, and especially if you've watched all of them, you might have noticed that I have a thing about first aid. I keep it in my house, my vehicles, I carry it in my ADC, and I include it in all of my bug out bags, even my dog's. But what I haven't talked about yet is my own IFAK, Individual First Aid Kit. But before I delve into the bits and bobs, I want to talk a bit about skills. Every member of my team is trained in first aid and CPR. Two of us have more than that. I honestly think that these are some of the most useful skills you can learn. No matter where you are in the US, you are at least a couple of minutes from your nearest first responder. And, in an emergency, those minutes can be crucial. Being able to start care before a professional arrives on scene can save lives. So do yourself a favor and find a local first aid and CPR class. If you're inclined, learn more. Now, I'm not saying that everyone needs to run out and get an EMT certification, but there are plenty of resources and opportunities to learn and practice things like wilderness first aid or tactical combat casualty care. See what's available in your community. The American Red Cross and the American Heart Association are usually pretty easy to find, and their websites can help you find a training opportunity near you. Also check out your YMCA, fire department, or community college. Many of them offer courses as well, usually the same ones put together by ARC or AHA. Alright, on to show and tell. So the first thing you might notice about my FAK is that it's not in a bag or case that I can drop into another bag. This is a MOLLE drop leg panel. This strap connects to my belt, and these wrap around my thigh. This means that my FAK is an independent item which is always accessible. Now, this lives in my go bag, so if we need to evac, it's one of the first things into the truck. But it's also completely separate from my bug out bag or my day kit. I can grab this if I'm just going out into the woods for a day, or two. Having it easily accessible also means that I don't need to stop, take off my pack, and rummage around to find it. Everything that I need is right here and accessible while I'm on the move. So if I need some ibuprofen, for example, I don't even need to stop moving to get it out and get it into me. In an emergency situation, it also means that everything I need is right at hand. Now, like I said, I have a little more training than some of the other members of my team, so I carry some things that they don't. On the flip side, there are areas of their kits that are a little more fleshed out than mine, because their FAKs are all the med gear that they carry, whereas I have a lot more equipment in my bug out bag. What's important about your FAK is that you know how to use all of the stuff in it. For example, I carry a tactical tourniquet, but if you aren't comfortable using one, I wouldn't recommend that you carry it. Things to start with in your kit should include some common over-the-counter medications. Most of this is stuff you'll find in a typical off-the-shelf first aid kit. Things like ibuprofen, acetaminophen, and aspirin are common painkillers. Diphenhydramine, otherwise known as Benadryl, is a common antihistamine, and hydrocortisone cream is useful for topical allergies. Pseudoephedrine is a common decongestant. Bismuth tabs and Rolaids are good for GI issues. Meclizine is good for motion sickness. And electrolyte salts for dehydration. Burn gel and either sting relief pads or ampules are basically just topical anesthetics, so they can be useful for a number of different things. Prep pads, alcohol or BZK. It's good to have a few different types because some people have allergies to some of these. And, of course, gloves if you're dealing with an injury and cleaning that out. Tweezers are good to have for removing a foreign object. And various band-aids, bandages and gauze pads, and tape for covering them up. You might want to consider adding styptic powder for heavy bleeding situations. I've also added some moleskin, for helping avoiding blisters, Tecnu Cleanser for dealing immediately with any poison ivy, and, of course, a CPR mask. Beyond the basics, everyone on my team also carries an Israeli compression bandage and an emergency whistle for location. For those on my team with basic skills, this is essentially their kit. They carry more Band-Aids than I do, and they also carry their Mylar blankets here, while the rest of us carry that stuff in our bigger med kits. They keep scissors here, while the rest of us carry EMT shears. We also have the tourniquets that I mentioned earlier, and occlusive chest seals. All of this lets us handle a variety of common and even uncommon situations. For bigger issues, the medics on our team carry even more equipment in their bug-out bags. Some of this is duplicated across both of us. Some of it is stuff that only I carry. This includes things like hot and cold packs, compression bandages and splints, clotrimazole for fungal infections, and EMT gel, which is collagen gel, helps seal wounds, promote faster healing. Smelling salts, activated charcoal, more styptics, I've got a bigger CPR mask, GI surgical kit with even more sutures added to it. Somewhere in here I've got liquid stitches too, aka crazy glue. We've also got fun things like tick removal tools. There it is. A fishing hook removal tool. And even an emergency dental kit. We also carry Olaes bandages. O-L-A-E-S, that's an acronym, which work better than the Israeli types at applying pressure to the wound area. If not being used in this way, the included cup can also be used for managing eye wounds. This is a great multi-use item. There's more things in here. That's the highlights and the things that you may want to consider for your home or bug-out kit. Well, that's all for now. As always, I hope I've given you some good info to consider. If you've liked this or any of my other videos, remember to like and subscribe below so that I keep making them. Till next time, stay safe and have fun.